What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Don't Quote Us Sports. It is Wednesday, March 11th, episode 45. And we're going to keep these good numbers rolling, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're going to start with baseball because there are two legends that just need to be off the top of the head. And that's Bob Gibson, legendary pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. And then good old Pedro Martinez. When he wasn't out there shoving Don Larson to the ground, he was out there striking out batters.
Don charged him. How dare you?
I don't care. It was still a cheap shot.
Yeah, dude. So Bob Gibson, knowing it was episode 45, looking into it. Dude, his MVP season, he had 28 complete games of the 48 that he pitched in. Insane.
Yeah, he was legitimately crazy. Some other baseball guys, some lesser known guys, if you want to say that. Garrett Cole of the New York Yankees, recovering from Tommy John surgery, should be ready by June, I believe, are the reports.
We'll see.
But then some throwbacks. A fellow by the name of Carlos Lee, if you remember that name, outfielder for the Astros.
Yeah, he's kind of a fat guy.
Kind of a fat guy. And then you had John Jay of the White Sox. He wore 45 in honor of Michael Jordan, funny enough. Luke Voigt, if you remember him, he wore 45 for a little bit. Basketball, obviously, you have the short stint in which Michael Jordan wore the number.
Still counts.
It does still count. But there's some fun names for basketball. Some bigger ones: Donovan Mitchell, Sean Bradley, Gerald Wallace. That is, I feel like that is a bag pull type of name. He bounced around to a lot of different teams, but he consistently wore 45.
He was lethal with 2K13.
Oh, he could slam the shit out of the ball. It was.
Oh, and he was
unreal.
a sharpshooter from the corner too. He was a cheat code having Gerald Wallace out there.
Hassan Whiteside.
Okay. What about Cole Aldrich? You remember Cole Aldrich, KU legend, played for the Thunder, white dude.
Okay.
Hell
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I'll one up you on that one. How about DeJuan Blair?
Oh, 6'7", 300 pounds.
Center from Pittsburgh.
A baller in the NCAA. I don't know how that guy made it in the NBA. He played for quite a little bit, didn't he? 5 years, 6 years?
He played for a good, probably longer than some people probably expected him to, I would say.
6'7", yeah.
Adrian Dantley. He's kind of forgotten about. He was very solid back for those old Nugget teams.
That's one of my uncle's favorite players, and it was his nickname in college. They called it, his last name's Danner. They called him Dantley because he had the same corner J.
Ooh, okay. And then AC Green as well.
You want to talk about another elite Bobcats 2K player? That guy was too nice. Always traded for
him. NFL players. Do we have good ones for NFL players?
There's a couple. Alec Ingold, which that's real relevant with free agency, just signed with the Chargers. Fullback. Native of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie was rocking 45 for a hot minute with the Raiders. And then Hall of Famer Kenny the Enforcer Easley. Played 7 years with the Seahawks. Hall of Fame, 32 career picks. Took 3 of those back to the house.
Nice. One big one we can't forget here. Archie Griffin.
Heisman.
Two-time Heisman winner.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if there's any other names that pop out at me real quick. 45. Not a great football number.
Oh, no, a terrible football number, in fact.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anybody. You could say if you want a current one, you could do Clavon Chason and Draymond Jones.
He's wearing 45. That's weird.
He
He's
just
too.
he's only worn it 1 year, and that was last year.
Gotcha.
Oh, Deontay Foreman, fantasy legend for about 3 weeks.
He was wearing 45.
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah.
I got a couple random ones for you, not in football.
Okay.
All right. Jody Shelley of the NHL played 12 years in the league, Blues, Sharks, Rangers, Flyers. Only has 54 career points. All right. But the reason that I threw him on this list is because he has over 1,500 career penalty minutes, and that's 127th all time. So shout out to Jody Shelley.
Yeah, I was gonna say that name popped up in my research as well. I had no idea who it was, so I just didn't include him.
I
But
had I had to look into him. I was like, okay, I got to see what this NHL guy's all about. I loved spending time in the box.
he was definitely one of those old school enforcers that no visor, and he was just fourth line grinder. Coach would send out when the boys need a little pick me up.
Yeah, yeah, go spend time in the chair, would you?
Yeah.
All right, I got two more, and I'll make them fairly quick, but one I have to talk about. This one's just a good bag pull. Mario Balotelli, Italian soccer superstar, kind of fell off. He's got over 200 career goals. He played for 30 games for the Italian National League. Um, he's still playing at like 38 years old in some Italian C League or something like that. But the more important one, 45 is near and dear to my heart. I think we've talked about this before.
No.
So I grew up, I thought I was going to be a baseball player, not a football player. Big into baseball.
Okay.
I grew up a Cubs fan. But at the time, my formative years of baseball, the Chicago White Sox won a World Series. And their closing picture was a big old boy by the name of Bobby Jenks, RIP to Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby
Yeah.
wore 45, and so I chose to wear 45 because I wanted to pitch like Bobby Jenks did, because Bobby threw gas. So 173 career saves, puts him 76th all time. Huge piece of the '05 World Series team. Rest in peace, Bobby.
Yeah.
Died in Portugal, by the way.
Oh, I did not know that. And then we'll shout this one out just because in our last post, 44, I think it was, we got roasted for not bringing up automobile drivers.
Mm-hmm.
And what better time to shout one out than Tyler Reddick,
Yes,
who
sir.
started this season off by winning the first 3 races of the NASCAR season for the first time in history.
It was something like Daytona, another one, and then the Circuits of the America, which fucking sick.
Yeah, it was like I read some article and it was like 3 very distinctly different courses, and he won all 3 of them with the same car. So that's pretty impressive, pretty cool. He's on Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin's team, who's based. Well, they're all based pretty much here in Charlotte, but I drive by their building off the highway every single day, so it just feels a little cooler.
Super sick car too. Like their paint jobs are always awesome.
Yeah, but Herb, this is gonna be a fun episode solely for the fact that NFL free agency is officially and legally here.
We're live.
I know there is a lot of legal and unlegal, or illegal, not unlegal, illegal tampering that does occur. But what I want to do is, because there were so many names, I guess I failed to realize like how many.
So many, dude.
Like, I wouldn't say like high level talent, but just names you recognize.
Yeah, and guys who are going to be starters.
Yeah, that will be switching teams. So I'm just going to speed run through a handful of them, and then we can kind of dive into wherever we would like after that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Along with some other news with releases and trades and whatnot. The biggest one, obviously, is going to be Tyler Lindenbaum resetting the market, signing with the Raiders, 3 years, $81 million. Herb, with that one, you want to know how much he reset the center market by?
Wasn't it like 17 million more than the next guy?
Creed Humphreys became the highest paid center last season. Tyler Lindenbaum got a 50% raise on top of that. So Creed Humphreys got 18 million. Tyler Lindenbaum got 27 million.
Yeah, casual. It's just a couple bucks.
That's crazy. Devin Lloyd to the Carolina Panthers, along with Jalen Phillips. That might be the bigger of the two. The Colts re-signed Alex Pierce to a 4-year, $114 million contract. I think that pops out to $28-29 million per year. We'll get
Too
into
much
that
here.
one
Yeah,
in a second. Devin Bush to the Chicago Bears. Jalen Watson to the Rams. Commanders signed Odafe Uwe. Kenneth Walker to the Kansas City Chiefs. A shocker, in my opinion, Mike Evans to the 49ers in a move that I think could be
we're going to talk
huge.
about it. We're going to talk about it. We
That will be one we talk about. The Titans, we knew we're going to get busy. One of the big signings they have was Alante Taylor, cornerback from the Saints. Saints, on the other hand, signed Travis Etienne, surprisingly. Steelers go out and get Jamal Dean. Dolphins sign Malik Willis in the worst kept secret, I think, in the entire NFL.
Yep.
Saints go out and get David Edwards, guard from the Buffalo Bills. Raiders sign both Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker. Bengals go out and get some help, get Boa Mafe. Giants get Isaiah Likely. Tyreek Woolen is going to the Eagles. The Titans double dipped onto the offensive side of the ball as well. Wan'Dale Robinson will be joining Brian Dable down there in Nashville.
And Bellinger.
And Bellinger. I don't know if that one's as notable. Cardinals signed Tyler Algier. I will say this right now. That's going to be a sneaky fantasy play, I think.
That's one we got to talk about, too. This running back market got juicy. All
right. Let's see. Romeo Doubs to the Patriots got a solid deal. Reed Blankenship, unfortunately, is no longer part of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I can't believe they broke that up.
I know. It's so sad. Titans also, another reunion. John Franklin Myers rejoining with Robert Saleh. An underrated move. I think this is going to be huge for the Patriots. Elijah Vera Tucker, guard.
Yep.
If I don't know where they're going to slide him in, if it's going to be at a left guard or right guard. Yeah, and if they're replacing the rookie that they had, that's going to be solid. Let's see. What other
Wan'Dale Robinson to the Titans.
I already said that one, buddy.
No, I didn't think you did.
Yeah, no, I did.
Let's cruise right over that
I said he followed Brian Dable to Nashville.
And then and then I said Bellinger. Jeez, I got hit in the head a lot in college.
And then trades in an absolute shocker that I don't believe anybody saw coming. Maxx Crosby is now a member of the Baltimore Ravens. The cost was 2 first-round teams from a franchise that typically values first-round picks they hold them very tight to the chest there in Baltimore. So this was a shock, in my opinion. That I did not have them on the radar for Maxx Crosby.
It wasn't the Ravens for me.
And a move that I really like that hasn't been talked about a whole lot, the Steelers trading for Michael Pittman Jr. to pair with DK Metcalf. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be, but they're going to try and make it easy and give them weapons. So I love that.
6'5" guys.
Yeah. So I love that. Trent McDuffie going to the LA Rams. Rashawn Gary, who was probably going to get cut by the Green Bay Packers, is now in Dallas. Think of Fitzpatrick got traded to the Jets for a 7th-round pick.
He's gonna rot.
Bears fill their center need by trading for Garrett Bradbury, so he's back in the NFC North. Thank God. So now Minnesota can wreak havoc on his ass after he wreaked havoc on our ass for years.
With fucking who?
Geno Smith
was
just traded to the New York Jets. He's back. We're full circle now.
Hey, before we go any, I know you're speed running, and this is the only thing I want to say about the Geno thing because it had me dying laughing. Okay. Oh no, let me see if I can find it. Tell me you still got it. Oh, I don't. Anyway, it was a long list of how Geno started it all the way through Darnold, Rodgers, Trevor Siemian, Strevler, and here we back are with Geno Smith. I love it. Remember, he got knocked out there once.
Yeah. He also got his ass beat.
That's what I'm talking about. He got punched in the face.
Yeah. What else? Oh, Tua got released by the Dolphins and immediately signed with the Atlanta Falcons. Fact check it, Herb. I am gonna go. I'm just gonna say it. This is the first time ever that there's been two left-handed quarterbacks in a NFL
I'm fact
quarterback
checking
room.
that. That you might be right, but I want to know now.
There's no shot I'm right, but I'm just gonna say that I am. But honestly, let's start there real quick because I did find it interesting. Of all the destinations that where there was a quarterback need for Tua, this move to Atlanta is very interesting to me because one, they don't have to change the playbook for him. Whereas if he was to go to any of these other locations like Arizona or Pittsburgh or Cleveland or whatever, they are going to have two playbooks, one for a right-handed quarterback, one for a left-handed quarterback, just in case. But the fact that Michael Penix is in there, I think is beneficial for him because the receivers, for the most part, are pretty familiar with how the ball spins out of a lefty's
Sure,
hand
sure.
compared to receivers for these other teams. And you don't have to change the playbook. And with Kevin Stefanski's offense, he runs a ton of bootlegs out to the left, which is now a left-handed passer's natural
Sure. And
like throwing
look, who was his
arm.
quarterback to start last year?
What?
Dylan
Well,
Gabriel, a
he
lefty.
didn't. He didn't start.
Who was his quarterback for most of the season? Dylan Gabriel, left-handed. Like he has already adapted it to the lefty, which is perfect.
But it will be a different offense. It will require Tua to get under center a lot more frequently. He took a majority of his snaps out of the pistol or gun in Miami. And it's going to be different in the fact that it's not going to be quick reads from the gun where it's just get the ball out quick and accurate and let the receivers do something. These are going to be plays that are going to, in Stefanski's offense, that are going to require it to develop a little bit and for him to hit targets downfield and probably throw into tighter windows than he may be accustomed to. So his completion percentage may come down, but who knows? But
Here's what.
I just like it. Sorry, last thing. I just like it for the fact that he truly has the opportunity to go in and battle immediately for the starting gig. And who knows with Michael Penix if he'll even be ready for the start of the year. So he might just be a week one starter right out of the gates. So we didn't know what was going to happen with Tua this offseason. I felt like he landed in a great position, all things
Yeah,
considered.
he's one of the biggest winners on a personal level of this whole thing because he's going to have the opportunity to go compete. What I'll say about it is this: is I think it is going to be a competition, but if Tua can't figure it out in this offense, with Bijan, with Kyle Pitts, with Drake London, with all the weapons that they have, and with an emerging defense,
And you,
that's it. Like, and this is a 1 year deal to find out. The entire league is going to find out if Tua can still do it or not.
and I think the biggest thing that nobody's talking about is the fact that he will now be playing in a dome
Mm-hmm.
because
Won't have to deal with the rain.
we know his struggles in cold weather later in the season, and two of his options were Pittsburgh or Cleveland. That probably wouldn't have bode well later in the season.
Even New York would have been terrible.
Yeah, or New York. Good point. So I think that's super beneficial for him as well. That's not talked about. A majority of his games are going to be played inside of a dome.
He's going to have to earn it this year, though. Like, I don't think Michael Penix is just going to roll over. I think he's got something to prove as well. So that's going to be super interesting on how well they do because it's two guys with nothing to lose, nothing to lose, everything to gain. I mean, this could be it for both of them.
I wonder how old Tua is. because
Tw-
he has to be
28, 29?
yeah. So he's 2 years older than Michael Penix.
Yeah, but way less miles. And the injuries, while they're there and a concern, they're a different type of concern. Tua is one hit away from meeting Jesus.
They're both one hit from being out of the league.
Out of the league, yeah. I'm talking about Tua's life here.
um, yeah, it will be interesting because there hasn't been a ton of reports out yet as to the timetable for Michael Penix. I think he had come out and said he expects to be ready for week 1, but I think I've also been seeing reports on the flip side saying I don't think he will be ready by then.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, shout out Miami taking a $99 million dead cap hit, huh?
yep, that is now officially the largest dead cap hit in NFL history, breaking Russell Wilson's. I think his was 83,
Something
85
like that.
million
Sounds right.
over 2 years. So it'll be interesting how Miami decides to go about that. If they're going to take it all in year 1 or if they're going to divvy it up. I think they can divvy it up this year to be like 53 million and next year for the remaining. I'm
I
probably
read
wrong there.
somewhere they could do it over 3 years, which that's ideal, right?
But I think that had to be if he was released after, like, with a
Is it the
post
post June
June
1st?
designation. So I don't know how that works if he's already technically been released. If they can still give him that post June 1, I don't know. But I think you're right with that. But then, Herb, I want to go back to the Maxx Crosby deal because I think this is one that's going to have the biggest ripple effects across the entire league because Jesse Minter is now the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. He goes out and gets his stud. Their entire defense is going to be centered around Maxx Crosby, who is making a little bit more than $30 million. But if you factor in, and this is from a report that I read on ESPN, like the surplus value of first round picks, and if they hit, so instead of like you have to factor that into how much you're paying Maxx Crosby. So it's not just 33. I think it comes out to almost $57 million
Yeah.
per year in surplus value. So you essentially need Maxx Crosby to come out and play like an MVP, which
I think he
easier said
can.
than done.
True, but I think he can. At least a defensive player of the year. I mean, I think he is that talented of a player in Jesse Minter's defense, which is a really, really good defense. I just, for a team that does value those first rounders, I think there were cheaper options. And it's like you said, it surprised the hell out of both of us that it was the Ravens of all teams.
I think the reason it surprised me so much is I don't think they're Maxx Crosby away
No,
from a Super Bowl. Like, I don't know exactly what they're missing, but I know it's more than just Maxx Crosby.
I mean, you just lost your center and one of your tight ends, and your receiver core is less than spectacular outside of
Like
Flowers.
their offensive line is in shambles at this point.
Yeah,
And that
who's
was one of
playing
their
center?
biggest and that was one of their biggest like week John Simpson actually. They traded or signed him or traded
From the
for him.
Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was one of their biggest weaknesses last season, and so far they've only really subtracted from it.
Yeah, Lamar's a loser in this whole thing, unfortunately, because it's not because they didn't gain, it's because of how much they did lose. He lost his center. He lost a weapon at tight end. Whether you think it was Mark Andrews or Isaiah Likely, clearly John Harbaugh liked Isaiah Likely a lot. Took him with him to New York. No, they are not a Maxx Crosby away. Does this make that defense more lethal? Absolutely. Defense is winning championships. That's a fact, again, in the NFL. There's other needs, and to give up the 14th overall, which shout out to the Raiders. The Raiders now have number 1, number 14, and number 36.
In addition, they have 11 draft picks total on top of all of these names that we'll talk about in a second that they've signed in free agency. Like this will be a completely revamped Las Vegas Raiders team
Yes,
next season.
and so the Ravens. I just don't know. I think that's why it did surprise both of us. Is just like, why did you need Maxx Crosby?
Yeah. And it seems like Dallas was in there until the 11th hour. They really were hoping that a first and a second, and I think they were willing to throw in a player as well, like a quality, like solid veteran starter.
See, I heard that's where the hangup was with Jerry. He didn't want to give up a player.
Oh, was it? I know for sure they were offering a first and a second. That's where
Apparently they offered the same thing, and they were like, "No, we're not sending him to Dallas at all." Did you see Portnoy's tweet?
No.
There's a rumor flying out and about that the Patriots may have wanted to get into the Maxx Crosby situation. But then allegedly Tom Brady blocked any of those conversations and said, we're not sending Max to the Patriots.
See, as a minority owner, you don't have that type of, you should not have that type of say.
Portnoy said, if true, tear the statue of Tom down in front of Gillette, rip it out of its stakes.
Like that, it's so, if true, would be so unbelievable.
But wouldn't that just be a Tom Brady thing to do?
I didn't feel like he hated New England that much.
I think it went a little deeper. I think the move to Tampa Bay, I think that went way deeper than we all thought.
I guess it sure seems like it at this point.
Yeah, but no, Portnoy was heated.
Another big deal. Actually, a couple because we can kind of tie these together. The first one being Kenneth Walker to the Kansas City Chiefs, 3 years, $43 million, pays him $14.33 per year. So a little bit more than what Kyron and James Cook got last offseason. I think they were both around 12 and a half. So I think this was probably the max he was going to receive. So he's probably very happy. But I'm just at face value, this move makes a lot of sense. Kenneth Walker's a good running back, no doubt about it. But playing devil's advocate here, I don't know, unless Kansas City is planning on changing or switching up their scheme on offense, because a lot of recently, at least the last couple of years with Matt Nagy at the helm, it was a lot of shotgun, in the gun, not a lot of under the center plays. And if that continues, Rico Dowdle is not nearly as efficient running out of the gun or the pistol compared to quarterback under center. Like there is, I don't have the stats in front of me, but there is like a noticeable decline.
Sorry, say that Rico Dowdle?
No, did I say no? Kenneth Walker.
You said Rico Dowdle, and it really threw me for a hook.
No, Kenneth Walker.
I'm aware. You said Rico Dowdle out of nowhere, and it really messed me up there.
Well, if I did, I apologize. I already forgot. I hand on Bible don't think I did.
You did.
And now we're gonna have to go back and watch the tape.
I was like, Rico Dowdle signed with the Steelers. What are we talking about? Oh, here. Okay, back on track.
It's been a long day. Okay.
No, I get it. I get it. I was just really thrown off, and I thought I missed something. So now that we're back on Kenny Walk, I think it was stupid for Seattle to let him go. I understand this move because I have to remind myself that Patrick Mahomes got injured pretty badly last year. Not like gory or graphically or violently, but bad enough where are we going to see the same Magic Mahomes outside of the pocket? I don't know. So why not go get a $15 million insurance policy in Kenny Walker and say, hey, if we have to go under center, if we have to run the ball more, which we have not done well to this point, and so that's forced us into the shotgun. I think it just gives you more protection for Mahomes when he comes back.
We want to know a fun fact. The reason they couldn't, I think a large part of the reason they couldn't run last year was due to the fact that they had so many injuries on the offensive line. So there wasn't a ton
Mm-hmm.
of continuity there. But then you just had two backs that had lost all their explosiveness at this
All their
point.
confidence.
I did research. Um, Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco combined for one carry that went over 20 yards last year.
And what did Kenneth Walker average per carry in the Super Bowl? Like 12 yards?
I don't know off the top of my head,
You know what I
but
mean?
um
That's
like
insane. What a stat.
yeah. I will say though I don't love like again, at face value, I like the move. Like Kansas City improved with this signing. However, I think they had much bigger weaknesses to
Correct.
address across the broader team than shelling out almost $15 million to running back, where we have seen plenty of other teams in the past get plenty of value for a fraction of the cost. Look at Carolina last year with Rico Dowdle and
There he is.
hit for $4 million or whatever it is, you know? Like they have glaring weaknesses along the defensive line. They still have some holes on the offensive line. Their receiver room is confusing as hell still. They have no cornerbacks at this point. They lost 3 DBs in the last 3 days.
Yes.
Um,
So let me throw this at you. By trading McDuffie to the Rams and getting, what is it, the 29th overall pick, right?
yep.
That to me, and does it to you feel like they were empowered to say, hey, we can go pay Kenneth Walker because we have faith in the first round at 9 and 29. We're going to get two quality starters, one being a corner, one being an offensive line.
I'm calling it right now. 2 picks that they are making. They're drafting a cornerback, probably
At 9,
um,
they have to.
Delane
Yep.
Delane at from LSU at 9, and then there's actually a surplus of really good defensive linemen that should be
Mm-hmm.
available at 29. They could be salivating that like a Keldrick Folk from
Mm-hmm.
Auburn falls
Or
to them.
Cassius Howell too.
I'm starting to because they need something that can come in immediately, and I don't know if Cassius Howell can come in immediately. The other name I was going to throw out was Akeem Mesidor, the DN from Miami.
Yeah.
A little bit older, but I think he's a first round talent, and I think that would be a swoon for them if they were able to get him.
They just lost Leo Chanel today too. And you want to talk about just tackle production and disruptive pass rushing. He goes to the Commanders to try to fill some edge rush hole that they have after the Von Miller thing. I think that absolutely could be. And again, there's depth at two positions in this draft that I really love, and that is on the offensive line. And if you're looking for depth receivers, so I think they're banking on some of that too. That maybe, and it's the Chiefs. The cards typically fall where they love to be. So something's going to fall to them in the second and third, and we're going to go, did they really just get that guy in the third? Like those sons of bitches.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how the draft goes because I'm starting to get the feeling because I don't think Mahomes is going to be healthy until mid-season,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this year we probably won't see 100% healthy like Patrick Mahomes of the past this entire season. Like it'll
Sure.
probably take the year just to like knock the rust off and everything. So it almost feels like a gap year to me for the Kansas City Chiefs, where let's kind of assess what we have here.
Get
Let's
our
try
feet
and
under us.
get our feet under us, see what we can get um, in this draft. Hopefully, they hit on some of these picks, and then maybe they get another mid-tier first-round pick next year, and they're right back into the thick of it, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
because
And
correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen any news about them signing a quarterback yet, but they're going to need a quarterback for the beginning of the season. And I
yeah,
don't know if
they're
that's going
gonna
to be
have to.
Minshew or if they.
Minshew signed, buddy.
Okay, so it's not Minshew.
Minshew signed with Arizona to be the backup in Arizona.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're that ground is shrinking beneath them, and there's a lot of rumor flying around that Kyler Murray might be an option for
Ugh, I don't. Ugh,
him.
ugh.
That way, they can just say, "Hey, Pat's going to take the entire year off to get fully healthy."
Yeah, and then I wonder. I'm hazy on like how the compensatory picks work and
Oh,
whatnot. But with Kyler only signing for a vet minimum, I don't think the he would be he would get Arizona would get a comp or Kansas City wouldn't get a comp pick. Maybe he would if he was to come to KC, play really well, and then go sign a big deal somewhere else. If Kansas City would get a comp pick
I don't
for that,
know. Probably. I don't know. That whole thing is there's a lot of if this happens, then this happens, then if this happens.
because it's based off the value of the contracts that these
Yeah.
players sign. Like the Ravens, I think are gonna get a third round pick in 2027 because of Linderbaum going to Las Vegas.
Real quick on compensatory picks. I know you're not going to want to hear it because it's Packers, but the Packers have cashed in. They're going to have like 4 third rounders and 3 fourth rounders at this point. And
Yeah.
granted, they're not going to have a first round pick, but they got 2 in the second. They're all right.
But going back to Kenneth Walker and the running back thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I said we were going to tie this all together. Because the other big running back deal that was doled out was the Saints. Saints of all teams. I was not expecting this whatsoever. Going out and signing Travis Etienne to a 4-year, $52 million contract, which I feel like signals Alvin Kamara is probably gone because that is redundant as hell, in my opinion.
Can I give you my spin on this whole thing? It's all over the place, but I'll give it to you. I thought the Saints were going to go get a running back. I thought Rashad White was going to be the fit in here or Tyler Algier. But this running back market has signaled a lot, especially when we're talking about the NFL draft. So ETN goes there. Alvin Kamara has already said he won't play for another team. If he's traded, he'll retire or release. He's done. He's come out and said that. So I think he's there for
Which
one
is what
more.
which is what they all say though.
True. He's 31 years old when the season kicks off. I think this is the last go round for Alvin Kamara. And I think the Saints are sitting there saying, okay, we have to plan for the future of our backfield. And Audric Estime and Devin Neal are not our guys of the future. They're going to be a part of this running back room, but they can't be the number ones. So they go out and they invest because they're sitting there at 8 going, oh, Jeremiah Love's a real option. I think you and I have seen that mocked plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeremiah Love is seemingly, according to a number of experts, a franchise running back. I don't think Jeremiah Love's going to be there at 8. And I don't think the Saints think that either. Hot take. Titans are taking Jeremiah Love at 4. That's everything I'm reading. And the moves the Titans have made suggest that. So if Jeremiah Love is gone at 4, the Saints cannot be sitting there without a running back plan for the next 3 years. They just can't be. Well, they addressed that need. But then you look at Tyler Algier. He goes to the Cardinals. Are all of a sudden the Cardinals selling at 3? Is Jeremiah Love the hottest commodity that could be in the NFL draft all of a sudden? Because of ETN signs with the Saints?
See, if Tennessee doesn't draft him, which I think would
They
take
could.
some, which could, in my opinion, would take some kahunas because I think there are bigger needs, and just for the sheer fact of what you would pay Jeremiah Love, like he would immediately come in with at the number 4 pick and be paid probably top 5 at the running back position, which is hard to justify. But if
Sure.
Tennessee doesn't pick him, maybe he goes to Washington. You could
Maybe.
argue. that could be a fit. If not, though, dude, he could fall because Kansas City's not going to draft him now. I Cincinnati won't draft him. Miami won't draft him. Dallas, I doubt would draft him. Rams won't draft him. The Raiders won't draft him. The Bucks won't draft him. The Jets
Would
potentially could draft
absolutely
him.
they would absolutely do it and then try to find a trade partner for Brees, or at least that's how they should do it.
Or they just go in with 2 running backs and Brees Hall doesn't come back next season.
True,
Like,
but I mean, if you're a good GM, you get value out of value players, right?
so we're talking about, we were talking about a, what seemed like a for sure locked in top 10 pick might be dropping all the way to 16.
See, I don't see it. When being a Titans fan and really following that, I'm telling you right now, Jeremiah. If we don't trade out of that, Jeremiah Love's going at 4.
I just feel like if Arvell Reese or David Bailey
Why?
or Ruben Bain are there, I feel like that's where you go. To me,
But
personally.
why though? We signed 2 DNs, we signed 3 DBs, we signed a wide receiver, we signed 2 linemen. Like we went out, said we got the most money at 111 mil. Mind you, we still have 40 million to play with as of right now. Like I think the Titans are going to put themselves in a luxury spot of saying we can take Jeremiah Love at 4 and be okay.
I am more of the belief that they would go receiver at that pick than they would to go running back. And it's just my opinion. I don't think running backs at in a top 5, even top 10 is kind of sketch to me. Like the value
Sure.
just doesn't align, right?
Sure.
Especially if the rest of your team is not immediate, like unless you are a running back away or a playmaker away from really taking a leap, I don't see the value of it. And I think we can agree Tennessee is probably a year or 2 away still from really taking that next step, if there is a next step with the current makeup of this organization, where I think there's more value in getting a key player, a key edge player, right? Like imagine if you nail this edge rusher, whether it be Arvell Reese or David Bailey or Ruben Bain, the going market rate for those players is 40. By the time they're up for contract, would probably be $45-50 million. Myles Garrett is at the top right now with like 41 or 42, I think. Or no, Micah Parsons, whatever he's at. But that means you get what turns out to be a top 5, 10, 15 D end for pennies on the dollar for 4 years. And like I said, with Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs, there's so many running backs you can go and extract value at a fraction of the cost of what it would be if the Titans drafted him at 4.
I get what you're saying. With the edge rusher, I understand what you're saying. We signed John Franklin Myers, right? He can probably kick inside, but 7.5 sacks. You can't beat that on the edge. Jeremiah Johnson can play the other edge. Your needs at interior to play right next to Jeff Simmons. So if that's not there at 4.
But that's the question, though. Like, you would know better than I do of where they plan on playing Franklin Myers. But when he played with Saleh in New York, they had him inside. They had him at tackle. And then when he went to Denver, they deployed him more on the end.
Correct. And he was more productive in that Denver defense on the edge. So, yeah, if they say, hey, Big John's playing up the middle, 6'4", 290, as opposed to playing, 5 technique, then yeah. And David Bailey's there, sure. But, like, if you get Ruben Bain, one of those 2 guys is going to have to play inside. But, again, I think that we have an early pick in the second. A guy like Keldrick Falk falls that deep, right? A guy like Cassius Howell falls that deep. Plus, we have Femi Oladejo, who's probably going to play DN for us, to be honest with you. Second, third round pick out of UCLA last year. Highly productive rookie, only getting better. There's just a lot of things that this coaching staff has done right so far, and addressing the needs in a massive way through trade, through the free agency. There's something telling me at 4 it's going to be Jeremiah Love. And especially you look at the Titans' history. Historically, what position is the best the Titans ever had?
Running back, but I felt like
Earl Campbell, Eddie George, Chris Johnson, Derrick Henry. Like, the list goes on.
The one interesting thing, though, is if it's Arvell Reese that's the one that drops to 4, it's due to the fact that he has flexibility of being able to play inside and outside.
That changes things
in the defense.
I'm
just gonna keep coming back to it. On top of like the entire argument I had on running backs, I'm also a firm believer, and we've seen it from some of these past Super Bowl winners. You can never have enough edge defensive linemen. Like, look at the Eagles that have been so successful with their D line of like, if you can control the trenches, that is a game changer.
I'll give you that. In my opinion. I'll give you that. Okay, so running back you don't value that high. And just because it's a possibility at 4, and this is the Titan fan in me asking, would you value a middle linebacker at 4? A middle linebacker like Sonny Styles?
I mean,
right?
I'm scared. Dude, Sonny Styles scares me.
What scares you? How much of a freak athlete he is? How productive he is on a football field?
And I get this is like where the NFL is moving towards. Like, we are no longer seeing the 6'3", 270-pound linebackers, like Ray Lewis types in the middle. Like, linebackers now need to be agile and be able to cover tight ends, receivers, and Sonny Styles, in theory, is what that definition of linebacker moving forward will look like. I am personally just scared that he's essentially one like amazing year that he had at Ohio State at linebacker. So there's a lot of projection, I feel like. And we've seen plenty of freak athletes, like the most similar that I don't want to make the connection, but it's hard not to, is Isaiah Simmons, the old Clemson linebacker.
Yep. No, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Who used to play safety, moved to linebacker, but he was the same exact player, like a smaller.
Sounds like Arvell Reese you're describing more than Sonny Styles.
Really?
Yeah, Sonny Styles is 6'5", bro. So was Simmons, don't get me wrong, but Arvell Reese is a former safety as well. And he's undersized, underweight, can play all over the place. Careful now, because people are going to get on us, be like, Arvell Reese is the truth. I think Sonny Styles is the truth.
Like, I can see it. That's also a really hard one, too, because he would be the highest drafted linebacker since
Kuechly, probably.
Levante David, the Bucks.
What do you go, 7, 8?
7, 8, I think. And that was a couple years ago.
The reason I ask is because if we decide, hey, we can't pay Jeremiah Love top 5 running back money year 1, like you said, right? Maybe they listen to that idea. Let's sell. Well, the Cowboys were just offering 2 first-rounders for a generational face of a defense. And I know Maxx Crosby has done it already, and that's where it comes from. But I think that means the Cowboys would be pretty inclined to come up and get a guy like Sonny Styles at 4. If that's the case and the package is right, do it.
Ravens backed out of Maxx Crosby trade due to medical concerns that arose during a physical. Maxx Crosby is still... Dude!
A Las Vegas Raider. What does that do for their cap?
That's what I was just going to say. They've signed so many fucking people.
Oh my God. This might have just screwed everything up.
Crazy deals.
Oh my God! What if they can't pay? They're going to be able to pay Linderbaum, but they're not going to be able to pay any Naylor. No, they're going to have to lose one of those linebackers.
If they're lucky, they can get out of that Quiddy Pay contract. That was a massive
That one
overpay.
or the Quay Walker one. If you've gotten the Kobe Dean on a cheaper deal, you overpaid Quay Walker as it is. Wow.
Oh,
Wow. 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 This is a nightmare.
wow. The ripple effects that we will see from that one, I am very interested to see. We
The
won't have
NFL's
those immediately.
is the NFL gonna have to step in?
And
Like
say
they're gonna
what?
have to
He failed.
push it
He
through?
he failed the physical. They can't force that through.
He was just smoking a cigar or a blunt with Shabuzi at his sobriety celebration. What do we see wrong in the physical? I shit you not.
I've
Maxx
seen plenty.
Crosby celebrated 6 years of sobriety at a private party with Shabuzi while smoking a blunt. It was incredible.
Oh, so he's California sober.
That's what all the comments said. They go, oh, so not sober,
Interesting.
just off the booze. Hey, good for you, Max.
Dude. Wow.
What?
Okay.
So let me run this around. If you're the Ravens, right? It must have been catastrophic, something that you couldn't deal with. But how screwed are you now that we're a day and a half, 2 days into free agency? You're going to have a lot of cap space now, and you couldn't go out and do anything. This screws up everything, right?
Honestly, I don't know if it does.
I mean, it
Personally,
screws the Raiders up pretty bad.
it screws the Raiders up, if anything. But this
Hey, the
could almost
Vikings are back in play for Linderbaum, baby. I think there's still 4 million over the cap right now.
yeah, there's not a lot coming out of Minnesota right now.
Not a peep coming out of Minnesota right now.
Let's see. Let's see who's available still.
Yikes! Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's going to be some ripple effects here.
So, God, I mean, we were just saying it's not like you were Maxx Crosby away. I guess the NFL gods were listening to you. What if
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Minter? What if that just saved Jesse Minter's like? What if that's the beginning of it all? Like that was the fate piece that was supposed to come together, and now Jesse Minter's going to win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years because of it.
So they could go out Trey Hendrickson.
That
Is
becomes a
still
very
out there.
viable option. Although, did you see the price tag that he's asking for annually?
No, please tell me it's not something ridiculous.
30 to 40 million for I think he wants a 2 year deal.
Fuck off. Has he not learned yet?
He must think that that is where his value is. I think it was a year ago and the year before that. I don't know if it is now, but I don't know. He had a solid year, did he not? Was he not up for? Wasn't he in the running at
He was
early
injured.
for?
He was
Oh,
injured
he was.
almost like the entire year.
Oh, oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, so top names. These are no outside of Hendrickson, probably players I am staying away from. Tyreek Hill, Jawan Taylor, Taylor Decker, Marshawn Lattimore, Trayvon Diggs, Christian Kirk, Deebo Samuel, Jonah Williams, Joel Petonio. I would,
Whom
I would, I would pay him.
I think
You
he's
could probably get
pushing
him.
retire. I think he might end up retiring.
He could, but I don't think he would cost a lot. And he played pretty well last year, all things considered, for that Cleveland team.
If you're looking for a 1 to 2 year fix, you go get Jonah Williams to play guard. You go get Taylor Decker to play tackle.
Best center that's out there right now. Granted, I do not know what the Ravens depth chart looks like right now. Is your boy
Lloyd Cush, baby.
Lloyd Cushenberry? But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
If they were wanting an edge rusher, I wonder if the Raiders do get out of Quiddy Pay and the Ravens end up paying him.
I don't know. That I was gonna get into that when we talked about the Raiders. That was a ridiculous overpay. Like Quiddy, what outside of him being a first round pick, what the fuck has he done in the NFL to deserve $16 million per season?
Not much in the NFL, but hey, check college tape, I guess. Let's take a look at Quiddy Pay here. He's got 30 sacks in 4 years. Not terrible, but that's and that's just kind of the market, man. It's just so far up there. Four forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries. Not terrible, but yeah, that's quite a purse to be given him. Does this make the Cowboys back in play for Crosby potentially?
I think without a doubt. I think without a doubt.
They just and this isn't something they can go back on, but they just traded for Gary.
But they only gave up a fourth.
I
which
understand.
Which is also an oversell.
I understand, but all of a sudden, there's a lot of guys playing on the defensive line. Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams, Maxx Crosby, Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
Plus a couple of guys that they already had there.
No, I think that definitely makes.
But did the price tag just go down? Hey, we're not giving you 2 first-rounders now. We'll give you this year's first, and we'll give you 2 third-rounders, and you can piss off.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
damage goods.
The drama with Carlos Correa a couple years back, where he originally signed a big deal with New York. They back out because of physical. Goes and signs a big deal with San Francisco. They back out because of a physical. Ends up back in Minnesota for I think $150 million less than what he was gonna get with the Mets.
The price tag on Maxx Crosby just tanked.
Yeah,
wow,
it really did.
That's crazy.
That
crazy,
is
crazy.
Just...
Whew. Wow.
Wow.
Hey, speaking of, there's a trade that I wanted to float around, or at least trade partner potentially. The Eagles, we knew at some point they were going to get decimated, right? They couldn't keep everybody. They had to let Nakobe Dean go. Jalen Phillips went. Surprised they paid Tariq Woolen. Is Jordan Davis getting moved in this offseason, in this mess of a market? The Packers and Bears are up there as potential players for him.
I feel like they will be forced to trade either Davis or Carter. I don't think they'll be able to pay both. But I wanted to go back to pay real quick, just to quantify how fucking miserable he is and how he does not deserve $60 million per year. He ranked last, so he's a edge rusher, right?
Yeah.
What is the primary job of an edge rusher? Go.
It's quarterback.
Okay. Well, Pay ranked last in pass rush win rate among all qualifiers at edge at 4.5%.
How the hell is he getting 30 sacks, 30 and a half in 4 years?
And then, combined with that, he was in the 12th percentile for pressure rate.
He's really hanging his head on that sack total. Jesus.
How?
16 million, man.
I know people don't look at advanced analytics like I do sometimes. But sometimes they are so egregious, you look at it and you're like, what the fuck, you guys?
Yeah, I wonder if it was just like, we got the money, spend it. Use it, lose it, I guess.
I would have rather paid a few more $1 million and gotten Boa Mafe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, absolutely.
Or even going cheaper. Or even going cheaper and getting Clavon Chason.
See, he had a better year than most people think.
And he's still
him
young.
And Quiddy are in my mind, him and Quiddy are very similar on a same tier, but Clavon's probably better statistically
I
and
feel like
probably just generally.
his trajectory is on a higher path.
Yeah, where Quiddy's just
Plus,
kind of like, this is where he is. This is as good as he's going to be in the NFL.
no, you're buying a mirage. Almost.
Maybe. I mean, I know he's hanging his head on the 30 sacks, but nonetheless, he had 30 sacks in 4 years. Not a lot of guys can say that.
Mm-hmm.
He was an anchor piece on that defense. He really was.
Sorry. I was trying to think where I wanted to go next.
Okay.
We have to talk I think the last. Okay, there's probably a couple more, but last one for sure that I know I would like to talk about. Alec Pierce re-signing in Indianapolis for 4 years, $114 million, which, let me do the quick math real quick.
It's 29.
I think, is it 29? $29.5 million per year. Wow.
And not just hold on. Not just that. Well, let's play your game and then I'll make my point. Go ahead.
Let's go back and forth right now. How many wide receivers can you name or do you think are better than Alec Pierce? You don't have to name them, just give a number.
12 to 15.
We'll go back and forth.
I'd say at least a dozen.
I think I could name 22 wide receivers better than Alec Pierce.
Ooh, that's steep. My high end might be 17, 18. Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Okay, you're right.
It was a... go ahead.
You want me to name them? You think I can name 22?
Just run through them real quick.
Jamar Chase. Keep count for me. Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
Justin
let's go.
Jefferson.
There you
go. CD Lamb. Garrett Wilson. Amon-Ra. T. Higgins. A.J. Brown. Cortland Sutton. Nico Collins. JSN. Puka. Devontae Adams. George Pickens. I would say T. Higgins. Did I say T. Higgins?
T. Higgins.
Jalen Waddle.
Okay.
Jamison Williams. Will you give me that one?
They're real similar. I don't know if I can give you Jameis Williams or Jameson Williams.
Devontae Smith.
Yep.
Malik Neighbors.
Yep.
Drake London. I would still argue Marvin Harrison Jr.
Can't give you that one, not yet.
Okay. Zay Flowers.
Yep.
Jordan Addison.
Right there, difference of opinion. It's a slight edge. You're at 19.
Chris Olave.
20.
Tet McMillan.
Yep.
Mike Evans if he's healthy.
Sure. 22.
Michael Pittman Jr.
Clearly not, because his ass got traded, brother. They said no chance do we think Alec is lesser than Michael Pittman. No, it's a gross overpay, and it just signals. I mean, you want to talk about putting the weight of the world on that kid's shoulders. Good luck to him. Not only did we sign you to a massive overpay deal at $29.5 million, we traded the second option on this passing game immediately. I mean immediately. A lot of faith they must have in Alec Pierce. I'm hoping good things for Pittman. I'm hoping he gets a good quarterback there. I like Pittman. Got to stay healthy, but he could flourish. Him and DK, and they find the right slot receiver there. That could be nice.
And he's always been a dog. Like, that dude is a team guy through and through.
You never hear anything about him, and that's a good thing.
But
He's got a lot of the Larry Fitz to him, huh?
yeah. And obviously this just gets to like the type of player that Alec Pierce is. They are paying this dude $29.5 million. The most receptions he's had in a singular season, 47.
And he's only broke 1,000 yards.
He has broken 1,000, and it was at 1,003. Granted, with Daniel Jones, Phillip Rivers, and Riley Leonard, but still, barely.
Yeah, and he's a home run hitter,
And
right?
17 career
he's a
touchdowns.
Deep threat. He's a deep threat. He's a home run hitter. I need a more complete game out of a guy I'm paying $30 a year. He's going to have to develop as a route runner. He's going to have to develop in his technique. Like, I just don't need you to run fly routes all day in deep posts and pray to God you're open down there. Like, we need to see more out of you. Like I said, it's a lot of faith in a guy that I don't know is there yet.
Yeah, it is very different paying an Alec Pierce $29.5 million compared to, because it's a pretty similar contract to like what DJ Moore signed with the Buffalo Bills, or even T. Higgins with the Cincinnati Bengals. Just two receivers that have a far more complete game than Alec Pierce, and with a whole lot more experience or numbers to back up a deal worth that amount of money.
Yeah, I don't know that very many other teams would have gave him that much. I think plenty of teams would have paid him 22-ish, 23-ish. I think plenty of teams would have been comfortable paying him that. Paying him an extra 6 to 7 a year is, again, not very many teams. Not very many teams at all.
No. Yeah, crazy. We'll see if they regret that one. The one thing they do have on his side, at least, is age. He's only 25.
Which is huge, right?
You're get
planning
him
for the future.
They should get him for his peak prime years.
So let me tell you this. Let me throw this at you because we're talking Colts here, okay? The tweet is the Colts are paying premium for mid. Have you seen this yet? Okay, so collectively now, between the transition tag that Daniel Jones has, which, by the way, he's asking for $50 million a year. Don't know if that's going to happen. But between his contract and Alec Pierce's contract, they're looking at an average salary of $68 million a year. The LA Rams' average salary for Stafford and Puka is $43 million.
Yeah, that's going to be a question that follows like longer into the offseason as to why they decided to place a transition tag on Daniel Jones compared to placing a franchise tag on Alec Pierce. Because the transition tag for Daniel Jones, I think, was like $37 million.
Yep.
I don't think he was getting that on the open market. He's not going to be healthy for the start of the year, coming off an Achilles injury. I don't think the market was going to be as large for him.
And there were enough questions around him to begin with.
Exactly. So why do you put the transition tag on him rather than franchise tagging Alec Pierce?
Somebody get Jim Irsay's daughter off the headset. She needs to take it off. We got to make bigger decisions here. We're seemingly making some wrong decisions. I wonder if they're just so scarred by having to bring Phillip Rivers back and freaking out in that way of like, no, we just have to sign Daniel. Maybe that's a piece of it.
I mean, granted, there weren't a ton of great options available, but I don't know.
The good news, Anthony Richardson is still there.
Hey, if there's somebody that can capitalize on Alec Pierce's speed and downfield potential, what better guy? Just throw fucking 70-yard Hail Marys all game.
Yeah, until his arm gets tired after 3 of them, he sits down. Should be playing the NFL.
Are there any other big signings that you'd like to discuss, Herb?
Yeah, real quick, the Mike Evans one.
Yep.
Does this seem? I don't know how to. Part of me when I first saw it was, oh, this is a money grab, but Mike doesn't seem that type. Are his chances of winning a Super Bowl that much better with the current 49ers setup than they were in Tampa? Right? Is it that much better?
I do. I think it is better. Just look at the end of the year records. Shanahan, for all the injuries that they had last year, had no business being in the NFC Championship game last year, and yet somehow, some way, they find themselves there again. And I think a fraction of like the thought process that Mike Evans had here was Tampa has so many mouths to feed at this point between Abuke, Godwin, Bucky Irving.
They just re-signed Cade Otton.
He probably wasn't going to be as involved as he would like to be. I think he still believes he has a couple of good years left, and I think his game is the type of receiver game that will age gracefully in the NFL because he never really relied on his speed. He was always a contested catch type of guy, so he doesn't need to make a ton of separation. And what better place to go? And if you want to be a featured X receiver still in the NFL, what better place than in San Francisco, where there is a huge need in the receiver room, playing for an offensive genius in Mike Shanahan. And I would argue, I know we both love Baker Mayfield, but probably a more consistent passer in Brock Purdy.
Consistency, sure. Brock Purdy and Baker are right here for me, right? In terms of overall talent, it's which one do you prefer? No, he immediately becomes the number 2 option in the passing game behind Kittle.
Behind McCaffrey.
True. I was thinking more outside of the running back situation.
And Kittle's might not even play until midway or towards the end of the season with that Achilles.
See, I thought they were a little more hopeful that he was going to be back like week 4. Who knows?
All the power to them.
But no, I mean, that we've talked about it. Their skill positions have been decimated. Everybody's gone except for Pearsall and CMC. So why not? Like, great job by the Niners. I was just like, God, is it that big of a difference? Tampa, if they were healthy, they would have been in that hunt.
It does suck because Mike Evans is one of those athletes that I just always assumed was going to be a one-teamer.
Yep.
Type of player. I just could not see him leave Tampa. So when I saw that news, I texted you. I was just shocked, just pure shock, because I was even of like the belief that Mike Evans would take a pay cut to stay in Tampa.
Yep. I will say I saw a couple AI images of him in the gold and maroon there for the Niners.
Did it look nice?
Look pretty good. Look natural. You sometimes you see some of those, you go, ugh. Mike, you went, oh, that looks, yeah, dude, the gold. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
So that was the other big one.
That is a perfect fit for both sides. Fits like a glove.
Oh.
Fit in need is what I was gonna say. Fit in need. Perfect match.
Let me hit you with this on do you have any more of these big storylines you want to cover?
I don't think so.
All right, hit me with your biggest losers and biggest winners so far. Again, we're 2 days into this damn thing.
Well, based off tonight's news, I think easily the biggest losers are now the Baltimore Ravens. Not only did you lose your star center, you also lose out on your star defensive end that you tried trading for, and you have not done a fucking lick in free agency otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, I won't disagree.
I think that is a clear loser. I would also argue the Raiders are a loser. Yes, I know they have signed everybody and their fucking mother this week. I don't know how much I like any of them. And they're all outside of Linderbaum. I will say great signing there. That one makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, I feel like it is just a bunch of massive overpays for players that I don't know are truly going to elevate your roster.
I like
Well,
the
it will elevate Las Vegas roster. I don't know if it makes you a winning football team.
I really love the Nakobe Dean move. I don't understand getting Quay Walker on a massive overpay and Nakobe Dean. Like that, it didn't make any damn sense to me. Quay Walker shouldn't be getting more than 10 a year. So I'll throw the Raiders now in the loser category. I think winners for a reason, losers for a bigger reason, especially with the Max deal. Any more winners you got there?
Winners.
Take the hometown team. Take the Panthers, baby.
Sure. We can throw the Panthers as winners, depending on how you feel on Jalen Phillips. I love the Devin Lloyd pick. I feel like $15 million is reasonable, although he really only has 1 year of really good play at the NFL level. He was very inconsistent his first couple of years in Jacksonville, and this was also a player that Jacksonville refused to play on third and fourth down, especially in third and long situations, which isn't great news. Doesn't sound great for a guy that you're going to pay $15 million to.
But he's an anchor.
But Jalen Phillips, if he can stay healthy, is exactly what Carolina needs. He's not an all-star pass rusher, but he's above average. But I think the bigger deal is how well he does against the run as well, because Carolina ranked dead last in run win rate, defensive run win rate. So essentially, everybody ran all over them is what I'm trying to get at.
There it is.
Essentially, everybody and their mother was able to run on Carolina's defense. So for that, it is all going to come down to injury, and if he can stay healthy. He's missed 22 games over the past 5 seasons. That includes a torn ACL and was it a torn Achilles?
Yep.
Yeah, not great.
See, here's my issue though. 120 million, and I think 80 of it's guaranteed, if I'm correct on that. For a guy who did have I like the player. Don't get me wrong. I like the moves that they made. I will put Carolina in the win category. My concern is 120 million for a guy who popped his ACL, popped his Achilles, and had 5 sacks last year. I know in a crowded defense, but that's a tough check to sign in my book.
Yeah, I agree with you, and part of the reason the sack numbers were so low is he only turned 8% of his pressures into sacks, which was one of the worst rates in the league, which is much lower than his career average, which I think is closer to 13%, which is more league average. If he would have been at his career average, he would have had 8 sacks, so a little bit better. But again, you're not paying him to be a all-pro edge rusher. You're paying him for more of a complete game.
Okay.
You want to know another big loser I have that nobody's talking about?
As long as you don't steal mine.
You go first, then.
Yeah, you're going to steal mine. You get up out of here, all right? I'm going to hit you.
I don't know if I was.
All
Let's
right.
see.
You want my biggest loser?
Hit me.
The NFC North as a whole.
See, that wasn't mine.
Okay. The NFC North has been quiet. Very, very, very quiet. A lot of re-signing their own guys and low-level stuff. The biggest move that I've heard of was Pacheco to Detroit and Sky Moore to the Packers.
Ugh.
Yeah, right? And Sky Moore is, if they let him
How is he in the league still?
Here's what it is. If they let him see the offensive playing field, they have failed. The only thing he should be doing is kick returning for him because the Packers have not been able to figure out kick returning in the last 5 years. So if that's all he does, fine. Isaiah Pacheco, I don't understand pairing him with Jahmyr Gibbs. Doesn't make any sense, but Dan Campbell seems to always figure it out. Other than that, like the Vikings, I know are in a tough cap spot, but they haven't done anything yet. There haven't even been really conversations. The Bears need a defensive tackle bad. They need to go find one. I know they're going to draft one. They need to go find a vet as well. They need to probably find a safety. Jaquan Brisker's still out there. Kevin Byard's still out there. It's just the NFC North just hasn't done anything that I went, oh, shit, oh, God. Like the Lions making a move for Maxx Crosby would have sent the NFC North into a frenzy and had to make people make moves. I think they're all just sitting there waiting, but it feels like there's a trade coming for one of these teams, and I don't know which one it is. I don't think it's the Vikings. I think you guys are waiting on Kyler, huh?
I hope not. I sure as hell hope not.
All right, who's your other loser, and then I'll tell you my big winner.
CJ Stroud. That dude is fucked.
Yep. They oh, maybe we should invest in the O-line, huh?
We talked about this earlier. So they went and traded Titus Howard, and then they gave up on Juice Scruggs. So that's 2 of their offensive linemen from last year. Then they traded a 4th and a 7th round pick for David Montgomery, who was in a great situation in Detroit, which definitely propped up his numbers ever so slightly. And I'm very scared that he is going to turn into Jamal Williams once he left Detroit, and that is a pumpkin. And then on top, back to the offensive line, with how bad they were, obviously they went and just re-signed Trent Brown to a 1-year deal, and then overpaid the fuck out of Ed Ingram, paying him $12.5 million per year for a dude that is fucking awful, like atrocious. There was an unlimited amount of players that I would pay that amount of money to before I would pay Ed Ingram. And then their only move was got Braden Smith, which one guy is not going to fix you.
But he'll be your left tackle next year and the year after. I can say it with confidence. Played a lot of right tackle with the Colts. He'll be your left tackle. Rodrigo Blankenship doesn't do much for me. It's just you're adding to a really solid defense. You're getting a solid piece back there. You want to hear my winner?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
2 parts. One is the Tennessee Titans, maybe. For all the reasons I've said. We address needs. We put ourselves in a good position. I like the vision that Saleh and Dable's doing. Some people are saying it's too many reunions. I don't care. If it works, I like it. On paper, it is working. Again, we're not going to be Super Bowl bound next year, but we're going to trend in the right direction. I'm excited about it. The other one is Patrick Mahomes. And I think that the addition of Kenneth Walker, and I think they're going to bring Tyreek home. I think those things are going to happen. If they can find some O-line help, which there's some O-linemen out there, plus who knows if they're willing to take on a Trent Williams type contract. A lot of speculation around that. But I think when Pat gets back, that team is going to be more foundationally sound than he's seen in the last couple of years, 2 years. So I think, and truthfully, with the addition of Kenneth Walker, like if they make the right moves in the next week, they might be in a better spot than some of those Super Bowl teams were that were real question marks at the beginning of the year and ended up winning the whole damn thing. So those are my winners and losers.
Awesome. Well, I think that wraps up NFL free agency for now. I know we'll have some more moves trickle in over the course of the next couple of days.
Plenty.
But let's round her out, Herb, with some shout-outs.
I got a negative shout-out this week.
Fucking roast them. Let's hear it.
Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett. You know who Luke Cornett is?
What could have Luke Cornett done?
He ruined what could have been just a magical evening in Atlanta. I don't know if you were aware of this, but I believe it was either the 13th or the 16th of March. The Atlanta Hawks were hosting Magic City Night at their arena. And if you're not familiar with Magic City is where Lou Williams went for lemon pepper wings when he snuck out. Or was it Lou Williams? snuck out of the bubble and went to go get wings at a strip club. That
Mm-hmm.
Magic City. It's historical. It's renowned. It's a tourist attraction at this point, right? So
Mm-hmm.
not the Falcons, the Hawks are going to have a Magic City night, Magic City jerseys and the T-shirts, and right where it's a part of the community. Luke Cornett gets on his high horse and writes a letter to the NBA PA, the NBA head office, and talks about how this is supposed to be a family event and this is misrepresentation, or not misrepresentation, but something we shouldn't be associating with, and all this. And you know what? You know what the NBA and the Hawks did?
What'd they do?
They canceled Magic City Night.
Fuck, man.
Come on, dude.
Can't do that.
I don't think they were going to have the girls up there on the concourse, Luke. I think it was just a partnership with a local business. You don't support local business, Luke? Come on, man. These are moms trying to feed their kids, bro. That's all I got. That's my shout out. Fuck Luke Cornett. He ruined a great night.
My shout out is going to be to the Queen's University Royals men's basketball team. Herb, do you know where Queen's University is located?
Would it happen to be in Queens, New York?
No.
Oh.
Actually, it's not.
Where's that?
It's in Charlotte.
Oh, no shit.
It is an extremely small private liberal arts school here in Charlotte. And the reason I bring them up is over the weekend, they beat Central Arkansas in overtime to win the automatic qualifier in the A-Sun. So this will be Queen's University's first March Madness appearance in program history. So I feel like that deserves a shout out.
Hey.
That's always super cool, especially coming from a small school like we did. When something like that happens, I know the campus has to be absolutely buzzing.
Congratulations to the boys of Queens. Hell of a run. Great job. Be proud of it. It's going to be belt to ass first round. You're going to get like UConn, KU. You're going to get a one seed.
No,
just gonna
dude, that's if they
up.
That's if they win the play-in. The first four play-in.
Part of me hopes they do. Belt to ass.
Yeah, so that's who I got though. So.
Oh, real quick with that. Seeing as we're talking about small colleges, have you been following the Long Island University Fins Up thing on social medias?
Yes, I was gonna bring them up, but the fact that they actually did end up beating Mercyhurst in the championship made it null and void, in my opinion.
Here's the thing, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm trendy and cool and hipstery, right? I've been following the Fins Up thing for the better part of 2 years. I used to watch that guy's videos when there were quite literally 18 people in the stands as a whole. And he was down there doing the Fins Up by himself and his three buddies. Like, I remember when they were like, yeah, we're going to these games to try to make this a thing. And guess what? They made it. That's their Wrexham, dude. That is a couple of Joe Schmoes from Long Island who, this is their Wrexham FC. They influence this. Fins Up help propel that team to where they're at. I'm not trying to be trendy. I just thought that was super fucking cool that it's hitting right now.
And I had one more if you would like to indulge me.
Oh, hit me.
And that is, if you've been paying attention to the World Baseball Classic.
Yes, thank you.
We are starting to get to the age of, we are now seeing the children of players that we watched growing up. And the name that I'm getting at here is Lucas Ramirez, the son of 12-time All-Star outfielder Manny Ramirez. He is now a pro prospect. I believe he is in the Angels organization. I don't know at what level, but he's playing for Team Brazil in this World Baseball Classic. And he hit not only one, but two home runs against the U.S. becoming the youngest player with a multi-homer game in the World Baseball Classic. And Herb, these weren't just some rinky-dink home runs either. First one had an exit velocity of 104 miles per hour. Second one had an exit velocity of 106.3 and an eye-popping 50-degree launch angle, which is tied for the highest launch angle in the StatCast tracking era.
Oh, so
and he's 20 years old.
So he rakes, is what you're saying.
It seems like he might.
See, I thought you were going pitcher from Chechnya.
Oh no!
If I
was gonna go, pitcher, I don't know what the kid's name is, and I forgot what team.
The teenager from Brazil.
Yeah, 17-year-old. The dude is a senior in high school, and he is
throwing gas.
forcing Aaron Judge into a double play on the biggest stage.
Yes. You heard about the pitcher from the Czech Republic, right?
I don't think so, no.
Andre Satori is a full-time electrician. Okay?
Yeah.
He pitched against Japan. How do you think that went?
I can't imagine well.
He held him hitless through 4 2/3.
Sign me up.
It was awesome. It was a huge deal. It was absolutely electric. It was so cool. Dude, World Baseball Classic is giving us more storylines than I could have imagined.
What are your opinions on the Dominican Republic's home run celebrations this past week?
I've played against youth Dominican national teams. You got to know who you're playing when it comes to the Dominicans. This is what they do.
Their average time around the bases is 6 seconds longer than the next closest team.
Yep, and they are showmen, is what I'll say. I've played against the 16 and 17U Dominicans. They are showmen. It is they are on the stage.
This is a 50 to 60-year-old, a 50-plus-year-old white male's worst nightmare watching them.
You just got to play the game right.
They are having an aneurysm watching them play baseball.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Team USA, though. Shout out Cal Raleigh for being a bad motherfucker and not shaking your teammate's hand because he's on Team Mexico. Badass shit, brother. If you haven't seen that photo, do me a favor after this. Yeah, Cal Raleigh's a bad. Hey,
I have.
Big booty. Don't forget about that.
Dumper.
Okay,
folks. Well, that wraps up episode 45 of Don't Quote Us Sports. A lively conversation tonight.
More to come.
Make sure to tune in again next week, where Herb will attempt to eat a goldfish live on camera.
I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign that contract.
As always, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow. Tell someone you know to give us a listen, and we will catch you on next week's episode.
See ya.
Peace.